Welcome to the tour of Victorian homes on Wayne State University's campus by Shannon Rossi, Xander Geiser, and Derek Cram. We will take you through some of the most prosperous years in Detroit's history. Wealthy businessmen, widows, and others made their homes in the area now known as Midtown. Some of the most prominent architects, including the prolific George G. Mason, created these amazing structures.
Our tour will begin and end at the Walter P. Reuther Library of Labor and Urban Affairs at 5401 Cass Avenue. The Reuther was founded in 1960 to collect and preserve source materials relating to the development of the American labor movement. Today, the Reuther is the largest labor archive in North America. Many collections are available to view online, including the University Buildings collection, which was used heavily for this project. According to the Reuther, persons planning to visit the archives are advised to write, telephone, or email the reference archivist at reutherreference@wayne.edu in advance. To view collections and engage in research in person, patrons must register at the Reuther Library front desk and present photo identification when called upon. More information about the Reuther Library can be found at reuther.wayne.edu/about.
William C. Rance was a bicycle builder in Detroit who became a parts supplier for the auto industry after cars became popular. In 1913, Rance commissioned architect George Mason to design a house for him. The Detroit Board of Education purchased the house in 1944. After World War II, there was a huge increase in enrollment at Wayne State, so the Rance house was converted into classrooms and offices for the university. That was in 1946, and the house is still used by the university now. In 1991, the Rance House became the School of Business Administration Annex.
Here are a few more images of the Rance House through the years, including the lovely tile fireplace on the top of the screen and some of the exterior brickwork details.
The Frederick Linzel House, a fine performing and communication arts on the campus of Wayne State University, was constructed for Frederick and Rosa Linzel in 1904 by architect John C. Stahl at a cost of $9,000. The Linzel House is an example of 20th century colonial architecture with a Georgian style. It has 13 rooms with beautifully paneled oak woodwork from its original construction, including a secret room that can be accessed through the dining room. Frederick Linzel was Secretary-Treasurer of the William Wright Company, a furniture decorating firm. He and his wife Rosa valued fine woodwork, which was a sentiment shared by local architect John C. Stahl. The Linzels lived there for 10 years. The house was bought in the 1930s by the Detroit Board of Education and donated to Wayne State University in 1956. Originally, it was located on the corner of 2nd and Putnam.
First of all, wouldn't it be cool to see the secret room that Derek mentioned in his video? These are a few additional images of the Linzel home in the past and today.
William Malcolmson and William Higginbotham designed this Queen Anne-style house for David Mackenzie. Mackenzie was the first dean of the College of the City of Detroit, later Wayne State University. The home was completed in 1895. Mackenzie lived there until his death in 1926. The house is now the headquarters of Preservation Detroit, but has housed various Wayne State departments over the years, including the Association for Women Students, the College of Education faculty offices, and the campus treasure shop.
These images are of the Mackenzie house throughout the years. The two on the left are during the 1960s when it served as the campus treasure shop. The middle and the right photos are as it stands today.
The Thompson home, located at 116 West Hancock, is an imposing Queen Anne-style building and was originally known as the Thompson Home for Old Ladies. It was designed by George Mason with a $10,000 donation from Mrs. Mary Thompson. The Thompson Home for Old Ladies opened as a home for widows in 1884 and was closed due to a lessened need for housing for the elderly in the area in 1977. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976 and purchased by Wayne State University in 1978. The School of Social Work took up residence there in 1990. According to the School of Social Work, the Thompson Home will be available as student housing with 65 rooms beginning in fall 2017. However, as of July 28th, a large amount of construction was still being done on the building.
These are a few more images of the Thompson home. On the top left and top right, you'll see that construction is still going on at the building.
The Samuel L. Smith House at 5035 Woodward was designed by the architectural firm Rogers and McFarland for William C. Williams, founder of the Detroit College of Medicine, in 1889. The cost was $17,000. It is built in the Queen Anne style with Romanesque and colonial revival influences. In 1890, Samuel Smith, who had made money in the copper and lumber industries, purchased the house. Smith also was a financier of various automobile companies, including Olds Motor Works. Smith lived in the home for 27 years until it was purchased by the Detroit Music Conservatory. Wayne State first purchased the Smith home in 1960. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1986. The house was used as the Center for Instructional Technologies in the 1990s. The home has not been in use since approximately 2003. It often goes unnoticed because of the large Maccabees building and the University Welcome Center on either side of the building.
In the center image, you can see the Smith home during its heyday in 1900. This image is courtesy of the Detroit Historical Society.
The Lemuel Warren Bowen home at 5435 Woodward was designed by George G. Mason in the English Renaissance style in 1912. Bowen was an early investor in the Detroit Motor Company as well as an insurance company executive. After Bowen's death in 1925, the home was known as La Casa Loma. La Casa Loma was a tea room and social club that closed in 1943. Following that, the building was transformed into the Art Center Osteopathic Hospital. It was then purchased by Wayne State University and was used as the school's Department of Mortuary Science prior to the addition of the new building behind it. Extensive changes were made to the home by the university. Today, largely only the beautiful facade is what remains on view.
These are some more images of the Bowen home. Up at the top, you can see an image of it as when it was the Osteopathic Hospital. And the other three images, it's pretty easy to see why this building was chosen for the Department of Mortuary Science.
The corner of Woodward and East Ferry harbors a tale of three Victorian mansions from what was once called the Boulevard. The charming George L. Beecher home, built in 1894 by architect H. J. Maxwell Grills, features Tiffany glass and decorating. Luther Beecher found wealth by developing a dry goods business in Detroit after the American Civil War. The Beecher home provides space for the Wayne State University Development Office. Just off the tour is the massive Frank J. Hecker House, which was built in 1890 by Scott, Camper, and Scott. Colonel Hecker made a fortune in the railroad business prior to the Civil and Spanish-American Wars, manufacturing railroad cars. He was an extensive art collector as well. Rembrandt's The Philosopher hung in the home with 4 other famous paintings, and his Asian art collection is now part of the Smithsonian. Hecker and his wife entertained many guests at the mansion, Parties held there were famous for being lavish. Presidents McKinley and Hayes slept at the mansion in one of the second-floor bedrooms. William E. Boeing, the founder of the Boeing Company, grew up in a Second Empire Victorian mansion, which was built for his father in 1875 by architect Henry T. Bush. The Boeing stood across from the Hecker House, where parking lot 33 sits today, along with the neighboring C.R. Mabley mansion to the north, which was demolished by 1910. The Boeing House met its demise due to the automobile. The need for service centers along busy Woodward Avenue led to the removal of many of its great mansions.
These are a few more images of the Beecher home. Notice on the bottom left you can partially see the Tiffany glass window from the exterior view.
Hello everyone, and I hope you're enjoying your tour. The Herman Strasberg House, located at 5415 Cass Avenue in Midtown Detroit, now serves as the Wayne State University Music Annex. The building was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1986. The 2.5-story house was built in 1915 by architect Marcus R. Burroughs and is said to be one of the best examples of Tudor Revival architecture in Detroit. The home was commissioned by Detroit native Herman Strasberg and his wife Ida, who occupied the home until 1925, possibly using it as a dance studio. Rumor holds that internationally famous conductor Osip Gabrilowitsch and his famous wife Clara Clemens, the daughter of Mark Twain, lived in the Strasberg home for a time before moving to the Boston Edison residence at 611 Boston Boulevard at the intersection of 2nd Avenue. From 1931 to 1944, the house was used as a combined music school and private home. Wayne State University bought the property in 1949.
A few more images of the Herman Strasberg Music Annex. Note the half timber and brick details.
The Max Jacob House is a Mediterranean-style villa built in 1915 by Maurice H. Finkel. Max Jacob made his fortune in bottle and packaging material sales. The Max Jacob & Sons firm still exists today. The house was purchased by the Detroit Board of Education in 1944, then transferred to Wayne State in the late 1950s. The home was updated in 1977 to be used as office space and classrooms for the Department of Art and Art History. Since 1999, the Max Jacob House has served as the official residence of the president of Wayne State University.
These are a few more images of the Max Jacob House. At this point, it is a private residence for the president of the university, so we're unable to go inside and get a look around. We've reached the end of our tour. We hope everyone enjoyed the tour and takes some time to visit these hidden gems of Detroit history. Don't forget that the Reuther Library is open for research and has many amazing resources available online. Thank you for watching. Photo sources and useful links. Unless otherwise noted, all photos are courtesy of the Reuther Library, Wayne State University Buildings Collection, the Detroit Public Library, Detroit1701.org, and photos taken by group members. Again, thank you for watching.